Howdy, folks. Welcome to the show. We got some more of the old Buzzard, the guru of prospecting, going to show you how to get some of that yellow metal gold. He's going to be dredging in the far north, secret little creek up there with my brother Perry. You might have known him from the Prospecting America shows, and this is a doozy of a show, so enjoy.
Okay, Perry, we got this big old boulder over here. This is a real shallow creek here, you know. The bedrock's right down there. We're almost, well, I touched it right over here on this other side of the hole. I tell you what, let's do. Let's take a little break, and I want to talk to the folks about the dredge, okay? Let's explain that to them. And
come back and get that boulder.
Yeah, we'll come back and move that boulder. Let's go over and shut the dredge off and talk to them a little bit. All right. Let me shut the dredge off here and we'll take us a little break. I got Perry here with me today, and we're out in this little creek. Now this particular creek, Perry, got some really unusual things about it. The reason that we chose this creek today is because we've known about this for a long time, and the bedrock is real shallow. It runs clear across this whole thing. And so we're not going very deep to get down to the bedrock. Let's show them how our dredge works. I'll show you how that works. And this is Perry, he's a mining engineer, and my son, we're just out here having a good time today.
Yeah, well basically the way we chose this spot is I got up on the top of the hill and kind of surveyed the river valley, and what I saw was what looked like an old channel running along the side of the hill. And we followed that old channel down, and it all chokes together right here at this point. And so I think right in here is probably the best gold, because it looks like the old channel and the new channel and everything's all washed and coming together right here. So we're punching a hole down to test the bedrock to see what it looks like down there, to see what kind of color there is.
Now there's some unique things that you'll run into when you're shallow dredging. Some of the things that you're going to find when you're shallow dredging, you might notice that we've got our foot valve in a bucket there. Now the reason that we've done that is so that we've got enough water for our foot valve so that it doesn't suck air, and another reason is to keep the sticks and rocks and stuff from coming out and going up through our pump and damaging the impellers in our pump.
One thing I noticed about that bucket also is it prevents a vortex from forming.
Absolutely, yeah, and keeps it from sucking air up through there. Then let's just explain a little bit about the dredge. We've got, this is where we suck our water into our pump right there.
This has a flapper valve on it so that water goes in but won't go out. It's called a foot valve. The water comes up into the pump, sucks up here, it's pressurized in this pump housing here, and then pumps out here. High pressure water comes out of here and goes into our venturi down here, which causes the vacuum in the nozzle down there.
See my nuts coming off there, Perry. Just tighten that up just a little bit.
Don't want to lose that.
So once it comes into the venturi, that creates a high pressure suction, and then we can suck all the rocks and stuff up through the large hose and the gravel, and that's what we're doing. And that comes up and comes through our header box and into the business end of our dredge.
Right.
And of course we're using a Honda pump. I like These Hondas are made in the United States now, a lot of them, and we're using a Honda pump with a high pressure pump on it, a Honda engine with a high pressure pump on it. That flows into this header box, and then the header box, what we've got here, the material comes off the header box and it goes over a punch plate. And we're going to take this apart in a few minutes and clean up. And it comes over a punch plate.
That rock first.
And then it comes over a punch plate, and then it runs over a series of riffles, and then on expanded metal. And under the expanded metal we have Nomad, and I'll show you what that is. Under here we have a particular kind of matting that is available, and it's got these little squares in it. You know something, Perry? I think I see a nugget in here. Look at that right there. We're in a pretty good spot. Isn't that a nugget?
Look at that.
That's a nugget right there.
Yeah.
I'll be doggone. Looky there. Hey, well, you got a bottle? We'll put that one in it. Look at that, by gosh. And we haven't even cleaned up yet. This is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, when we just touched down on that bedrock, I'm kind of anxious to move that big rock down there, and we'll see what's going on with it.
I noticed there's a lot of hematite in this material.
Yeah, well, let's
stuff.
explain what hematite is. Why don't we get a piece out? Right here's a little piece of hematite. I'll just pick a little piece out of the dredge here. We find garnets too, but this is a piece of hematite. And won't you explain what hematite is for
Well,
Barry?
what it is, it's an iron sulfide material. It's mainly composed of iron, and it's a lot heavier than your regular gravels in your creeks. So when you're finding this material, you know that there's higher specific gravity material in your gravel. There's a good sign that there's gold there. Also, there's quite a bit of black
so
sand
this is heavy material, and it's an indication then that there's heavy material there.
There's a better stratification of high specific gravity material.
We'll take a look in the sluice box, see if we got any gold. Awful lot of water coming through that dredge there, Perry.
Oh yeah. Hey, I see some nuggets in there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. How about
Looking
that?
good.
Don't get much better than that, my man. Look
Right.
at that. Huh? We got a good spot. There's one there.
Looks like
There's
we got a
another one
couple of them
there.
in there.
I see 3 here. Boy, look at that big old piece of hematite too.
Wow, that's a good sized
Yeah.
chunk.
I don't know what else we got in there. We'll take a look though, huh?
Well, we'll just clean this sucker up, huh? Let's do this thing here, huh? Little wing nut there. Get that undone.
Here, let me lay them nuggets up there on top for you so you can take a look at them, huh? I got them here in my hand. There's a nice one there and a nice
Set them
one
up
there.
here
Huh?
on top of the.
There's another little one down here.
Yeah, we'll just leave that one in there for now.
Okay. Put them up there. A lot of water going through. Here's another one right here. Okay, now this here, what this is this is the punch
Hey, I
plate
see
that sets
gold
up
up
in
in
there.
there.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at all the gold in there.
Yeah.
Well, let's pull that plate out here so they can see it. This is your punch plate here, and the material comes down and stays on that. And then let's pull it right out. Oh, looky here. Take a look in here. Now, if you can see this, look at the gold in here. Look at it stuck. Here's a piece up here and a piece there, little piece there, and oh man, a whole bunch of it. And who knows what else we got there. Well, let's take and just dump that right off into a gold pan. And
I got my gold pan over on my bike. I'll be right
all right, go get it, and then we'll check in with our fine flour gold. Should be down in this too, and we'll just wash this rascal right out here and see what we got. See, this is a matting, and the material that comes up, bubbles up, goes down through the punch plate, lays into this, and then the flour gold, of course, with the much water that's in there, it'll be washed down into this Nomad, and it'll be staying in there. Let me get the bucket over here, Perry, and I'll give you some water. We'll just go through this cleanup, and we'll try to explain to you what we're doing. Dump the rock out of it there. We'll try to explain to you what we're doing while we're doing it. I'm going to wash the mat off here into the gold pan. And this stuff now that we got here, this is what we, boy, look at that gold hang up in there. It doesn't want to come out at all. Let's pick another piece or two out and lay up there with our other nuggets. Boy, Perry, that's a good hole. You know
Yeah,
that's a really good hole. God, I'm telling you, that's something else. A guy wrote in the other day, he saw one of our shows, and he told me, he said, I saw you drop some material out. Look at there. I think you got most of it. Let's turn it over.
I see all kinds of fine stuff in there too.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll flip it over when we get the sluice box cleaned up a little bit.
All right.
I can pan these nuggets out real fast here.
Okay, well, why don't you do it over there where we don't lose them, and I'll go ahead and pull some of this stuff out here. Now, normally we'd have to have a safety pan on that.
But I'm just getting the top rocks
But
off. And
as you would guess, Perry and I are no different than anybody else. We come out here today and didn't bring but one gold pan with us.
Look at all those.
So we make mistakes. Oh man, look at
the
that.
fine gold too.
Wow. Oh wow, look at it all stringing along in here. Look at that, would you?
Wow.
Look at those. Look at that gold. Ha, dog. Man, oh man of Shevitz. Look at that.
Well, if that spot continues, we're going to have a great day.
Yeah, we sure are. Look at there. There's several $50 nuggets in there too. This one over here probably $100. That one you pulled out a while ago is probably a $50 nugget too.
Look at all them pieces in there.
Now, where we're at, this place is listed in the GPAA Claims Guide. You know, if you're not a member of GPAA, you can sure do so. We're going to pull the matting out here and show you how this works. You'll want to carry two of them with you. Let me see that screwdriver again. I got it right here.
Stuff in there too.
There we go. Okay, and we'll pull that over.
That's pretty impressive there. Look at that.
Yeah, look at it. Well, that's
there's
nice.
Another piece in there. I missed him.
Look at that. Look at all that fine stuff in there too. Pan that down a little more for us. Let's see how much more got down this sluice, because there was 2 nuggets, and I think there's another one right there. I believe I saw it. I might have been looking at a rock. But you know, after a while, you get to seeing gold everywhere when you're out here. Sometimes it ain't where you see it. But we're having a nice day out here, ain't we, Perry?
Well, I like the looks of this.
You need to get out.
Man, oh man, look at the gold in here.
You need to get out there once in a while in God's country and do a little gold mining. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice. Yeah. Well, let's take, now this is nomad. This is what they call miner's moss. Okay. Now this miner's moss, let me explain a little something about this miner's moss. This is an open back miner's moss, and it's a little bit easier to clean. They come in 2 types, the closed back and the open back. Look at that little piece of gold right there. See it?
I hope not. That's at the end of the sluice.
Yeah, well, that's a piece of gold, all right. There's a lot of water running through here. Anyway, look at all the hematite on there, and this miner's moss comes in 2 types, the open back and the closed back. Now, I kind of like the open back because it's easier to clean, but the gold really gets down in there. And what I want you to take a look at is the amount of material. I'm going to dump this in the bucket. Let me get some water in the bucket. But the amount of material that is held with that nomad, it's just incredible. I don't know who the guy was that called it miner's moss, but that's what a lot of us call it. But that's not the trade name. It's 3M.
It's
nomad.
made out of a vinyl round. It's a round vinyl wiry-like substance, and it's weaved into that carpet. And it, you know, another thing that's really impressive about it is how it really holds up to abrasion too. I'm really impressed with its ability to withstand all those rocks going over a long period of time, and the way that the gold seems to penetrate and flow through the nomad. A lot of these carpets, the gold will sit on top and get packed with black sand, and pretty soon the gold will start just sliding right on down your sluice box. But with nomad, the gold penetrates and sits on the very bottom of it and doesn't move once it's down there, and that's what I really like about
it.
Yeah,
it really hangs up in there. Well, let me drain this off, and I'll pour this into your gold pan. I'll just show you the amount of material that was in that little piece of carpet.
You want to get this here?
See all the material that was in that carpet? Now, let's dump this in and let you pan this down and see what's in it, and then we'll clean that other carpet, okay?
Okay.
Let me get some water for you.
I think I can get it here.
Now, normally on these concentrates, Perry and I are running a test out here today. What we did is we brought our dredge out. It's a lightweight dredge. We wanted to blow a little hole down there to bedrock and do some testing, and I'm really impressed with this creek. I don't think there's been much dredging done in it before, if any, and it's probably made a new cut here since the last time anybody was in here anyway.
Well, I would bet you that if you went upstream too far, you'd run out of the gold, though.
Yeah, you could have, and I think that's probably the mistake that a lot of fellas have made, is that they've gone too far upstream, because we're down pretty close to the mouth of this little stream. and we blew a hole down here, and we hit bedrock only a couple of feet under. And so we're just running a test. But when we come back with our wetsuits, you can bet that we're going to have a tub here, and we're going to pan into that tub. I want to pan this down for you, just to give you an idea of what we got in here.
It's just loaded with black sand. An incredible amount of black sand.
Yeah, it's holding the heavy material in there because now he's doing a rocking motion on his panning there, folks, just to let you know what he's doing. Get in a little calmer water. And see, he's getting a good slurry action, and then he's taking the lighter stuff off the top, and then he'll take and stratify the material again. It'll only stratify to a certain depth, but that lighter material will come up and it'll lay on top, and then you can stratify it again. See, and that's what he's doing there. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the dredge. I've got another piece of carpet that this particular manufacturer puts underneath the Nomad. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be, but we'll take a look at it here and see what we get. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a member of the Gold Prospectors Association, you can sure take it from old Buzzard here that you've got a great opportunity to join, and you can take my invitation on that.
I think the nuggets are probably coming out of that limestone.
When you do join the club, you get a gold pan like Perry's using here, and the use of all these claims. This claim here is available to you. And if you find this one, I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want to start a gold rush out here. But if you do find it, a good tip for you is work the lower end of the creek. And when you're out there working, you'll find it. Oh, look at all that fine gold in there, and heavy black sand. And there's a lot of gold in that black sand. Now, this is the kind of stuff you're going to find every weekend you go out. You won't hit those nuggets. Let me tell you that I've been prospecting for 30 years. And I knew that I had a real good suspicion at this spot here because there's lots of these prospects, and I'll be honest with you, I've been out here before. I knew there was pretty good gold in this creek, and that's why I brought the dredge out here and why I brought them out here to do this show, because I knew there was pretty good gold here. This is in the GPAA Mining Guide. You can find it. Like I said, I can't tell you where it is because I don't want to start a virtual gold rush out here, you know, and then you get too many people and you get an impact on the environment. But if you find it on your own, it's one of the claims that's in there, and a real good tip for you is work the lower end of the claim, and it's in the 94 guide. Huh, Perry?
Definitely in there.
Yep, it's in there, and it's a small creek. Bedrock is fairly shallow. Okay, you want to dump it right in that pan, or you want to put that stuff in the bucket? Let's wash that stuff in the bucket, and then you can see what's in this lower mat. And then I think what we'll do is we'll hightail it back down to the house, and we'll get us some, why don't you just dump that right in here. We'll get us some wetsuits. I got my wetsuit in the bag down there.
Yeah, I'd like to
go back down to the pickup truck.
See if there's any bigger gold down in some of them cracks down there.
We're about, well, I don't want to give you any more hints as to where we're at here, but we're not too far away. And I tell you what, one thing you're going to know, I'll give you one tip when you get there: the water's really cold, and it's not in California, okay? But it's in the lower 48, but it's not in California. Okay, and it's one of the GPAA claims, so I'll give you a little tip. So I'll just go ahead and wash her out there, Perry. Yeah.
Take some water from this bucket.
Let me turn it over here. Okay, wash that off of there. Now you want to use a lot more care in cleanup than we are. Like I said, we just come out here to do a test, and when we come back, we're going to have all the stuff that we need for cleanup. Let me pan this one down for you. I shouldn't let you have all the fun. Okay. And what I'm doing here is I use a little different method than Perry. I keep the material slurried as I go, and I just kind of run that material off there, and I'll pan that down pretty far, because most of the gold, if we have any, should have been up in that Nomad, and there was quite a bit in there, but there might have been some that got plumb through it. And on top of that indoor-outdoor carpet, a lot of people use that indoor-outdoor carpet. It's cheap, and it's available most places. That Nomad, that stuff runs $1 an inch, or $3 an inch, I think. Look at the hematite in here, Perry. Nice big old piece, a lot of black sand. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah,
it's got good color in there.
Look at all that gold in there. Look at that. Look at that nice big chunk right there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we got to clean the rest of this thing out.
Well,
here.
you know, I think if we hit that spot here, look, here's a garnet. There's a little garnet in there. You know, there's other things that you'll find besides the gold, folks. You'll find garnets and all kinds of things. Make sure that you get your.
We could have missed some nuggets up in here.
Yeah. Well, let's wash it out. We're not missing it. We're not done cleaning up here yet, folks. I'm gonna put that little garnet in my mouth there and check it out a little bit more later. Okay, what you need to do, Perry, we'll tip that sluice box over sideways. What you say, let's go back and get our wetsuits and come back and do some serious dredging here. And I'll bring a tub up and we'll finish that up. Yeah, look at that. Man, oh man, look at you. You don't get no better than this, son. Huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's some nice jewelry nuggets there. That's what it's all about.
That little creek that old Buzzard's working's not too far from where the GPAA runs their Alaska trip up there, and that's a pretty rich creek. That whole area's got quite a bit of gold, and we run that trip up there every year, and you're invited to come along. You've probably seen the commercials here, and we enjoy having you, and we'll be right back here again for another one of these gold prospecting shows. Hope you learned something, and I'm sure you'll learn something. You keep watching because there's a lot more to come, and the old Buzzard had a lot of tips and tricks, and so we'll see you back here again later.